Hi everybody, it's Money Saving Coupon Gal, and I mentioned in my last video that I was going to do a video explaining what's been going on in my life and why I haven't been doing videos on a regular basis, and also I was coming to you guys with some help, tips, whatever, to help me out. And that's what this video is going to be about. So if you would like to find out what's been going on and maybe possibly help me with something, stay tuned. Okay, so to start with, let's talk about what's been going on in my life. It's just been crazy lately. You know that I took Rocky to the orthopedic. I believe I mentioned that in a video. I don't know if I did or not. But anyways, I take him to an orthopedic because he had been limping some. And they did a bunch of x-rays and they think he might have hip dysplasia, a slight case. They don't know. They really didn't even see it. It was when it was sent out to the radiologist. They saw a little something, but they're not really quite sure yet. It could be just something he grows out of at this point. And also something with his left shoulder. So he actually goes back tomorrow and to get more x-rays done to see if there's been any changes. He was growing way too fast. You know, at 6 months he was already 70-something pounds. And it wasn't like fat. He's just getting to be a big boy. And so we have him off the puppy food early. And we got him on the adult food to kind of slow down the growing spurt that he's had. So hopefully that will take care of his issues. He's not limping or anything anymore, and he seems to be okay, but the x-rays will tell. So we've been dealing with that for several weeks and stuff, and so that was the first thing. Then my mother-in-law, which I keep saying you guys know, I think you guys know everything about me, and you know, but I don't go into a lot of stuff. I think when Duke was sick was the most I've ever talked about my personal life on my YouTube channel. But my mother-in-law lived with us for over 5 years. She has Alzheimer's, and when a few months ago, it got to be a little too much for us to care for her. She needed, you know, 24-hour care. We had to place her in an assisted living facility. That's been going, I won't get into that right now because I don't want to put all that business out there, but a little bit I'm going to have to, just to explain why this has been going on for my mother-in-law. So they had mentioned, I guess when they told me she had a rash in her region below, and they said after fact that they didn't say that, but either case, I took her to the doctor. She did have a rash down there, a very bad rash. And the doctor said that it was due to poor hygiene, and we had to do ointment and see if that would take care of it. I had to bring her back in 2 weeks. They ordered some blood work, urine test and stuff. So before she came back, they had put her on antibiotics, or no, she came back, the rash was a little bit better, but they put her on, they did the test again, and that's when the test came back and it said, under bacteria, it said many. Not a few, not some, but many. She wasn't sure what was going on as far as, because they didn't do like a testing or anything on it at that point, because I guess they weren't expecting it, so she didn't request it. But she put her on antibiotics as a precaution because my mother-in-law, she can't tell us if she's itchy or in pain or whatever. I mean, she can tell you, but she doesn't, when you ask her, it's always, I'm fine, I'm fine. I don't know if she doesn't remember or whatever, because when we saw her like a week later, she said she was itchy down there. She had been. So it's like sometimes she tells us after the fact, you know, when it's almost gone, whatever. But that's all part of the disease. So you kind of have to think for her, unfortunately. So anyways, so they put her on antibiotics as a precaution. We were taking care of her there, trying, okay, how's she doing? Blah, 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 putting ointment on her. She had to do some other things. We said, this is what we require to be done for her to get rid of that infection and the rash. So 2 weeks later, I take her to the doctor again. Or no, they order blood. We go again, they do blood work, or they do a urine test. It still shows many. So then, or no, I take that back. I got so much, sorry. I have so much. They did the urine test, but they had to send it off, and they were going to have the lab do the work. So I got a call again from them, and she wasn't supposed to go back until 6 months, and then that's when her annual would be due. Well, they called me and said the the infection is even worse now, and we need to get this taken care of. And also that she needs to drink lots of water. Now, she drank tons of water at our house. I don't know if it was a convenient thing because she could go to our refrigerator on the door dispenser, get her ice, her water, but she drank water all the time. Apparently now they're saying she's drinking water, but her blood work is showing she's not. As a matter of fact, when my husband took her to get the blood work done, the guy at the lab who never saw her before asked if she drank water, and my husband said, yeah, why do you ask? And he said, because her blood is really thick, like she's not getting enough water. So this is a stranger saying that, the blood work saying that, but the facility is saying, no, we give her lots of water. So that's part of an issue right there. So anyways, so now they put her on a stronger antibiotic for longer, and we take her back again to have the test done again to see if it's all gone. If it's not, I really don't know what we're going to do at this point, because it's such a pain to find, a good facility. And this one, she stayed at all the time when we were out of town or whatever, when we needed her to stay somewhere. This way, we trusted this owner, we did everything, but for some reason, we're just having an issue here. It's like, when I say the doctor says this, it's always, no, she couldn't have gotten an infection from that, or, from the hygiene, or no, it's not this, or no, we do that. But the results and the tests are showing different than what they're telling us. And unfortunately, my mother-in-law, even though she can speak, she can carry a conversation on with you, she can't speak for herself. She can't tell us. If we say, did they feed you lunch yesterday? She doesn't know. She'll say yes, no, whatever, just whatever she thinks you want to hear. So that's been an ongoing thing for several weeks now. So that's kind of consumed my time trying to get this, arguing with the facility. It's just been a headache. Then my husband, everyone but me, I'm surprised. I'm going through all this and I haven't gotten sick. Then my husband broke out in this horrible rash. We went to the doctor. He said it was one thing, was using this ointment. It turned out not to be that. We ended up having to go to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist said, it looks like you have a rash, and from being gluten intolerant. And I forgot it's DH or the initials, and it's a long name, two words if you say it out, but it's DH. And he said, that's what it looks like. So they did a biopsy. They did 2 biopsies on him, and then he's been putting cortisone, hydrocortisone cream on. That's what all that cream I've been buying at Dollar Tree to help with that rash, because it's very itchy and it's all over from head to toe. I feel so bad for him. So we kind of did some research on gluten-free diets and stuff, and got a little scared because my husband's like, oh, I heard that if you're not gluten-free, gluten intolerant, you should not do a gluten-free diet because you can become a diabetic from it, all this other stuff. So we're like, okay. So yesterday, we did buy some gluten-free food though, and I have to tell you, I was shocked at the prices. We went to Whole Foods and got like a bag and a half of groceries and spent $60. And most of it was just snacks, just different snacks and some pasta, but to see what my husband liked to eat. I'm trying to get him off the regular junk food and maybe get him on something more healthier. But I couldn't believe the prices. It's just ridiculous. I mean, then we went to Publix, and which is a local grocery store, and got a loaf of bread, which is only about this big. This is how big their loaf of bread is, gluten-free. And it was $6.50 for a loaf of bread that big. Luckily, I had $1 off, $1 rebate from Ibotta and $1 rebate, I think it was Ibotta, and from MobiSave, because otherwise, I still, $4.50 is still a lot of money, but I'm not always going to have those rebates. So anyways, so we did go back to the doctor yesterday. They got his test results in. They do have medicine that you can take, and what's weird is that, from what we understand, is when you can never have a problem with gluten, but once you're gluten intolerant, you're always going to be gluten intolerant. It's a life change then. You're always going to be that way. It's not like it comes and then it goes. It may never come, but if it comes, it stays with you the rest of your life. So you could take a pill, but the pill has side effects, and one of them is that you could have liver damage. So you outweigh that versus doing the gluten-free diet, which is harder. It's not an easy fix, but health-wise, it's probably a lot better choice for you. So that's what we're trying to do. So yesterday when we went, he did the biopsy, and so they said yes, he definitely is gluten-free, gluten intolerant. I'm sorry, he's gluten intolerant, and that he needs to go either the medicine or whatever. So right now, because his rash is so bad, usually people get bad stomach problems, everything else when they're gluten intolerant. He didn't get any of that. He just got eaten out. It looked like 1,000 mosquitoes bit all over his chin, his neck, his arms. I mean, just horrible. And then from him scratching, he's just scratching now and not even realize it. In the middle of the night, he's scratching in his sleep, and he wakes up and his face is just all bloody and stuff from scratching. I just feel so bad for him, because it's just, think if you had like 1,000 mosquito bites on you, how your body would just feel. Well, I'm sure that's how he's feeling right now. And so he put him on the medicine just to, he said in a couple of days the rash should be gone, and he should be feeling better. So we were dealing with that. Then Tyson got sick. And Tyson's our chocolate lab, but I did say Rocky's our black lab if you don't know. And he's our puppy, and we have a 3-year-old chocolate lab, Tyson. And he ended up getting diarrhea for a few days, and then all of a sudden it was no more poop. Without being too much information, if that's for you, I'm sorry, but he started just pooping blood. That was it. We rushed him to the ER. They put him on medicine. They checked him out and stuff. And luckily, after a few days, the medicine kicked in and he was good. Flagyl works wonders. So then he was sick. Then, in the midst of all this, our cat, which was my mother-in-law's cat, which now has become our cat, all of a sudden got diarrhea. I don't know what's going on here, but I mean, this is weeks in between. And I mean, this has been going on for a while. It's not like one day Tyson got better and the next day Boots got sick. So it's not like they're catching anything from each other. Boots is an indoor cat. We don't allow him to go outside, and he had diarrhea. So we took him in and give him Flagyl, which I found out cats are not very easy to give medicine to. But luckily his Flagyl pills are like little bitty pills compared to the big horse pills that the boys get when they've had Flagyl medicine. But so he's starting to feel better and back to himself. And then I told you guys we were buying a new shed, and we've been having trouble getting the permit. Finally got the permit, and then the guy who was coming to tear down our old shed, we have a really nice, well, really nice at one time. It's kind of beat up now, but an old wood shed that looks like a cottage. It has the windows. It was really cute and stuff when we bought the house, but we live in Florida. You have termites, even though we tinted it and stuff. Termites seem to get in there and do damage and blah, 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 and it's old. We've owned our house for 18 years, so I'm not sure exactly how long she had it when the previous owner had it built, because she had it built on site, but we know at least it was as old as we've owned the house. And so anyways, so the guy was supposed to come and tear it down. We got the permit done. We were like, woohoo! And his wife got sick, and then she ended up in the hospital for a couple of days, and then she's back, but then he couldn't get a trailer to hold it. Turned into a big mess. He finally can come this past Thursday, gonna take care of the shed. We're all excited. I'm like, yes. We have the new shed being delivered next Tuesday, and the guy comes late every day. First of all, let's just get that out there. Nobody has any concept of time. You're paying people to do stuff, and they still just do it whenever they feel like it, no matter what. It amazes me how people in South Florida just don't take other people into consideration. My time is more value than yours, so I'll do it when I feel like it type of attitude, which is really sad, especially when you're a homeowner and you're trying to hire people to do work. So he was supposed to be here at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Wasn't too bad. He got here about 10:40. That's not bad, 40 minutes late. Tore the walls down. His guy never showed up with the trailer. So now we got all this stuff, everything piled up against the fences in our backyard. So he took some stuff, all the shingles, because the roof had shingles and stuff. He took all the shingles off. We put those all in the big black garbage bags, filled his pickup truck with those. He left, said, I'll be back tomorrow, which was Friday, and I'll be back and I will I'm going to take it all, everything that's here, I'm going to go take it to the dump, and then I will come back, and all he had to do was remove the flooring of the shed because it's bolted down. We have a cement slab, and then it's bolted to that, so if a hurricane comes, the shed doesn't take off. So he was supposed to come back on Friday, remove the flooring, or get rid of everything that he took down the day before, then come back, remove the flooring, and get rid of it. He was supposed to be here at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, okay. He didn't show up until 11 o'clock, so 2 hours late. And he was gone by 2 o'clock. We didn't even know he was gone. Didn't knock on the door, didn't say anything. Just disappeared. We had to take my husband, we had to go for his doctor's appointment. While we're at the doctor's appointments, I'm pulling up the cameras to see if he's in the backyard working. Never came back. So, needless to say, if you tear stuff down like that, what are you going to have? You're going to have nails, screws, staples, everything. Plus there's pieces of wood on the ground. So far Rocky has brought me in pieces of shingle. He's brought me in pieces of wood, everything, because he's a puppy. So everything he sees, he thinks he's supposed to chew on. So now I have to really watch them. And I can't keep them in the house because they've been cooped in the house for 2 days while he was out there. And then when we were at home, they're locked in the house. So they're going stir crazy. So anyways, so my husband says, well, today he works with at American Airlines with my husband, but he came and saw my husband today at work. They almost worked the same shift, and he said, oh, well, I couldn't, so I guess my husband asked him, well, can you come today and just remove the stuff, the pile, the nails and everything, and at least put it in the alley, because he said he wouldn't be back till Monday, and put it in the alley because my husband's working a double today. So he won't be home until like 10 o'clock tonight, and he has to get back up at 1:30 in the morning to go back to work tomorrow. So he can't come home and do it. I mean, that's just impossible. So he said, can you do that? And the guy's like, yeah, I'll come and stuff. So my husband's like, okay, well, he's going to come. And I'm waiting, and he never shows up. I ran to Joann Fabrics, got some good deals there. But anyways, ran to Joann Fabrics, and I called my husband. I said, well, just so you know, I left the back gate open, unlocked and stuff, because we have padlocks. I left it unlocked for him to get in. He goes, oh, well, he called me and said that he's not coming today, that he'll come tomorrow. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They just don't care in this state. I just don't get it. I'm a Chicago girl, and trust me, if you hire someone to do something, they come and do it. Or you get somebody else. Down here, it doesn't matter to get somebody else because most of them are the same. They're all like that. It's so freaking frustrating. So, not only do I have all these problems with everyone being sick and going to doctors all the time and stuff, I have to worry about the dogs getting hurt in my own backyard. I have to worry about the shed, everything else. So, with all that said, and I had to laugh because I took my mother-in-law and I had told her doctor, because she, I had given her the original diagnosis that the other doctor there had told my husband. And when I told her, oh, it wasn't that, actually he's gluten intolerant, she had never seen the rash. I guess it's something rare with the rash. You get it, maybe they've seen like 2 cases in a year, the dermatologist has, so it's really rare. But, so I said, well, he's out in the waiting room. I'll have him come in. He didn't come in with me because, I usually go in with my mother-in-law, but because it was, in her lower region they had to look at, he wasn't going to be in the room during that. So I went and got him and stuff, and so my husband told her, he said, she needs to get in here and get an annual exam and stuff. You need to tell her. And she said, she's always here with somebody. She doesn't have time to come for herself. And that's truth. I mean, she even knows that. I'm there all the time. Either my husband or my mother-in-law. She don't even know about all the visits to the vet and stuff. I'm always doing something. So when people are like, oh, where have you been? Or, oh, I'm glad you're back. I appreciate you guys still sticking around, because I thought, like, it's been, 4 or 5 days since I did a video, since the one prior to this one I just posted the other day, or yesterday, was it? Or the day before. It's just crazy. My life is just turned upside down at this point. So, with all that said, that's why I haven't been around. But also, I wanted to tell you guys, or ask you guys, not tell you, but I wanted to ask you guys. As I said, my husband's been diagnosed as gluten intolerant. We've just done some research, and like I said, everything we found was very expensive. He's tolerating some of the food, but he's just started to. He's not really crazy about it. And it's hard because like you get a box of pasta for $4.50 and it's this little box that has about this much pasta in it, and versus we're used to getting the Barilla BOGO at Publix, you know, so you pay $1 a box and you get the big box and stuff. So it's going to be a change. But I was just wondering, are any of you gluten intolerant, or do you have a family member or know somebody? Do you know any tips how to smoothly transition to being gluten free and not have to be such a shock, like boom, you just stop everything and you're like, oh, this is horrible, and because then it's hard to do it if you don't like the food. The pasta I made was a brown rice pasta, and it was okay, but they say don't overcook it, so as soon as it's done, to rinse it in cold water. So then it was cold. Even though I put hot sauce on it, it was still cold, and it didn't taste that good because it was cold. I like my food hot. I did buy some more pasta at Publix that has like brown rice, corn, and a few other things. I can't think right now, but it's got more than just brown rice in it. It looks more like regular pasta. But I was wondering, is there anything that you guys can suggest, or where I can shop at, or how you transitioned, or did you take the medicine? It begins with a D. I should have brought it in here, but did you take the medicine, and did you find that it was okay to take it? And I know everyone would be different, but did you find that was this transitioning to a gluten-free diet was just very hard to do, that it was easier to do the pill, or did you find that gluten-free diet was okay once you got used to it? You were able to do that. You found restaurants, because we've been looking for that, like restaurants or stores that, and it's hard because in the stores nobody has like a gluten-free section. I don't understand. They have like an Oriental section, they have a Mexican food section, they have this section, that section, but they don't have a gluten-free. I mean, with people needing that, you would think they would have a section there so it's all together, so you can go there and look, because now we spent hours in the store because you have to go down every aisle, you have to look, well, does this come, do they have gluten-free, and so you got to check everything to see if it's gluten-free and stuff. So I'm just looking for any tips, suggestions, anything you guys have that can help us out. I would so greatly appreciate, because I know this is going to be very hard for my husband to do, and probably for me too. So I'm hoping that we can get some information that helps us do it to where it's not so hard, for lack of a better word, so that we don't feel like we're losing out, you know, on good food, that we find stuff that is good and we're like, hey, this ain't so bad, let's go ahead and let's do this. So anyways, that's just what I was going to ask you guys, if you could help me with any, like I said, any suggestion, tips, any things you can put down in the comments, or if you like, if you're part of my Facebook group, you can message me on there, or on send me a private message on Facebook. You can do that. You can also private message me on YouTube, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. But if you do know how, you can send me a private message on there, and just we can talk one-on-one. Any help would be greatly appreciated. So now I think that's it. I'm looking, I had to make notes here because so much is going on. I think that's it. So I'm sorry the video is so long. Ooh, it says it's probably going to be hopefully under 30 minutes, but I just wanted to get all this out, and like I said, I'm just really desperately need some help now with all this. I know people are probably like, oh, gluten-free, what's the big deal? But it's hard. It's harder because it's hard to find the food, to be honest with you. Even at Whole Foods, they didn't even have a section because they're all about organic. So, you know, it's not like you can go somewhere and this is just organic and look, and that's what we're looking to do maybe, so we know what foods, because at this point, I know like pasta and breads and, you know, certain things you have to watch out for, but there may be foods out there that I don't know that may have gluten in them, and that's what we're trying to learn, because from what we were told by the dermatologist, that once he gets this under control, and if he goes gluten-free and doesn't take the medicine, that if he eats anything, say if he has a piece of bread, he will just break out like crazy again. It's not like you can eat a little bit and cheat. That no, any gluten, even if he happens to eat something that was made by something that had gluten in it, he could break out and stuff. So it's kind of serious, you know, you have to really watch what you eat and everything. So it's going to be a life changer for us. So anyways, I apologize for the video being so long. I apologize for the complaining, if that's what you want to call it, explaining. I don't know what to call it at this point. I wasn't planning on it being such a long video, but thank you if you're still watching this at the end. Thank you so much for watching the video. I want to thank you all for the support and love you guys all. Send me and stuff, and for welcoming me back and watching my videos. I love you guys, and I don't know what I'd do without you, because I feel like all of you are my friends, and some of you have actually became friends with, either in real life or through Facebook, or when I say real life, in person and stuff. I've met I've met a few people actually in person and stuff, and have become great friends with them and stuff. And Judy's one of them. You hear me say Judy a lot. She's one of them. Very great lady, and I've become very good friends with her. So I look at all of you as my friends, and as a friend, I come to you if I need any help, and that's what I'm doing now. So with all that said, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching my video, and please click like and subscribe. And until next time, bye everyone.